You're tuned into the Midday Show here on KEXP at 90.3 FM and online round the globe at kexp.org. I'm joined here in the KEXP studios with a longtime friend of KEXP and an all-around nice guy. It's John Doe. It's great to have you here. Welcome back.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
It's been a little while.
All-around nice guy. Wow.
All-around nice guy.
What they say about nice guys?
I don't know.
They get a lot of action on Twitter.
They certainly do.
That's what you tell me anyway.
My Facebook and Twitter are blowing up today. All I had to do was post a picture of you. And you may not know this, John, but you're very popular with the ladies.
Oh, well.
You're the.
I do know that, as a matter of fact, but I try not to think about it because that would be,
just too weird.
It would be weird and it would be bad, and then
Well, my friend Shannon says you're her secret boyfriend, so.
Oh.
Not so secret
Nice.
anymore. Shannon in New York is.
My secret love is no secret anymore. Well, hi, Shannon. I'll be sure to tell my girlfriend about our mysterious affair.
I hear you have a new album out.
I do. It's not out, but it will be. I'm going to do an in-store today at Silver Platters. My apologies to Easy Street and Matt and Bob, but
you can only spread yourself so thin.
No, it was just one of those glitches with the miscommunication. But anyway, Silver Platters tonight at 6:30, and it's called Keeper. Is the name of the record.
Gonna play some songs from that today?
I am right now.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, here's one about being careful who you let in your front door. Here comes a stranger, a friend of a friend, knocking on our door, sliding it open. He talks the blues, so do you. This ring is getting tighter, my finger is falling off. This changes everything, this changes everything, this changes everything. He stole your wedding ring. This changes everything, this changes everything, this changes everything, this changes everything, this changes everything. He walked right in, sat right down. Baby, let your mind roll on and roll right out of town. Where's my gun? Oh, that's right, I don't have one. So devilishly handsome, should've known he was actually Satan. This changes everything, this changes everything, this changes everything. He stole your wedding ring. This changes everything, 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 this changes everything. Okay. Good morning. Lordy. Okay, here's another song called Sweetheart, and it's well, you can think of it as taking place in the Old West days. Think of it as being on horseback. Sweetheart is let out of jail. Sweetheart just wants to stay small. Don't want any trouble standing up tall. Sweetheart is let out of jail. Sweetheart got hurt long ago. She thinks she's got no place to go. She's getting out today, I'm meeting her halfway. Sweetheart got hurt long ago. Sweetheart will sleep good tonight, resting by the fireside. I'll wash her feet and hands, polish them with sand. Sweetheart will sleep good tonight. Sweetheart, I've loved you so long. I know that we've done some things wrong. She's getting with destiny in play. I was powerless to say, sweetheart, I've loved you so long. Sweetheart, I've loved you so long. Sweetheart, sweetheart, sweetheart.
It's John Doe live on KEXP with songs from his upcoming release, Keeper. And John, want to thank you and Yep Rot Records for sharing an early copy of that so we could wet the whistle of our KEXP listeners. But when does the album come out?
August 30th. So what's that? 8-9 days?
Very soon. Very soon.
Pretty soon. But it'll be available today in Seattle.
At Silver Platters, where John will be tonight at 6 p.m. And John, you've written punk records and songs, many of them with X. You've done country and roots records, blues-tinged records, straight-up rock and roll. What's going on here on Keeper? I sort of hear a little bit of late 60s, early 70s Rolling Stones, but what did you have in mind for this new record?
Trying to write love songs in which the person actually gets loved instead of just longing and, ooh, I wish it could happen. And once the song started developing, yeah, you're right. That was a early love of mine. Groups like the Rolling Stones or the band or Neil Young or Joni Mitchell, and that was kind of a whole watershed era, like 69 to 71. As things were starting to turn a little sour in the psychedelic flower power era. Yeah.
Speaking of sour, I wouldn't say your last couple albums were sour, but there felt like there was loss or longing or melancholy there, and even the title of Keeper seems upbeat, and it seems like a sort of brighter, happier record. Is that what you were feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. Without doing the shadow of your smile or something weak. Oh, wait a minute. That's a cultural reference that nobody else knows.
I got it.
Without doing really soft and weak and sappy songs. Yeah. I mean, not to get too philosophical in the middle of the day, but if you don't get some kind of satisfaction or start working on being satisfied when you're like 40-some, then by the time you're 60, you're going to be miserable, And there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you've like lost your edge or whatever. But yeah, it's good to have some satisfaction.
And it's nice to think of you as happy. We like you, and you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
You deserve to have some happiness going on there.
Oh, we all do. I mean, everybody gets what they deserve. You can make yourself happy or sad in any situation, but it's easier when you got some help.
Speaking of help, you've never had any trouble finding some lovely ladies to join you on your songs, and this album is no exception. Tell me about some of the people that sang with you on Keeper.
Well, the biggest name is Patty Griffin, who was really kind and generous because she was touring with Robert Plant, which I think they're dating.
You know what? I just saw him in Warsaw, and it was one of the biggest sightings of my life,
Yeah.
and he was with a gorgeous woman, and we were all trying to figure out who that was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so they're doing this Band of Joy tour, and she was in New York, and they played 2 days, and I happened to be there, and I asked her, I'd given her these 2 songs, and she said yeah, and so we like rushed into a studio, and then, you know, of course she's so good, in like 2 hours, just boom, boom, knocked out these songs. And Jill Sobiel, who I've traveled with and did a record with earlier this year, and Cindy Wasserman, who's part of a band called Dead Rock West, and she and I have worked together a long time as well. But
And they're starting to get some attention.
yeah. They did this great gospel record or spiritual record last year, or maybe it was this year. And then there was other like great players, Smokey Hormel, Greg Lee. Smokey Hormel plays with Tom Waits and did a bunch of the Johnny Cash later stuff, and played with Beck, and then Don Was played bass on a few songs, which was such a gas because he's usually dealing with like, you know, personalities and the Rolling Stones producing and all this kind of stuff, and he just played bass, and then he would sit back and go like, "It's a fat groove, that's cool," you know, all Detroit, and that's fat groove, that's cool.
That sounds like so much fun. I heard Steve Berlin also
Steve
did a little
Berlin,
bit of work
yes.
on there.
Local boy, sort of.
Seems like you could go on and on. It sounds like
Yeah.
it was a fun time.
It was good, you know. I mean, we did it the same way that we've done a lot of records, and then I think unless you have a great vision and an ambitious project, I think most records should be done, you know, in like 2 or 3 weeks, so you don't think about it too much and you just kind of go with your intuition. But
Now you're going to come back through and tour on this record later this year in the fall. And what are you
it'll
going to
be
be
like
doing?
October 23rd, I think, end of October.
You got a pretty good memory there.
Well, I gotta.
I usually have to tell bands when they're
Right.
playing and where
Well,
they're playing.
No, I've been pretty lucky in keeping my memory and developing that. But yeah, X is gonna do some touring on the Midwest and the East Coast, and then I'm gonna pick up right after that, and then X is going to South America with Pearl Jam.
I heard. That
which would be
sounds so
pretty
amazing.
Crazy. And it's
Yeah.
traveling is difficult, but they're playing these giant places, so I think they've got to fly their stage stuff. I don't know. There's like at least a day or two off between each show, and it's like Brazil and Argentina and Chile and Peru and Costa Rica and Mexico City, and so it'll be interesting.
That sounds like a lot of fun. It seems like it's one thing after another for the next few months. Do you enjoy that pace?
Well, I've just had about a month off, so Jill Sobiel and I were touring just before this, and so yes and no. You know, I live in a really nice little place, and I enjoy that. I try to take time off when I can.
This is a nice time of year to have taken a month off.
Yeah. Really cool.
Well, that's why you look so relaxed. It's John
I'm
Doe.
a bundle of nerves, Cheryl. We're all blood and guts and under this veneer of skin.
It's so great to see you. John Doe's live here in studio here at KEXP.
Should we do another song?
Yeah,
Should
a couple
get
more
ready
if we can talk you
feel
into
that
it.
thing. So keep talking. I'll respond.
Tonight he's playing at Silver Platters here in Seattle at 6 p.m. Coming back through for another show sometime in late October. And again, the new album Keeper is amazing, coming out on August 30th, so less than 2 weeks away. And if you're here in Seattle and you want to go out and see him tonight at Silver Platters, you can pick up an early copy.
So the next song is called Good Filler. Way to go, Cheryl. You're a pro. It's nice to work with professionals. This next one is Lucky Penny. It's a little, I just had this idea of doing something that's a little more kind of stretched out, a little kind of dreamier. This is one of those love songs where the person actually receives and gives and receives. When we walk, your moonlit hand swings by your thigh, sweeps into mine. You take my hand so casually and pick me up like a penny. Put me in your pocket me there for keeps. Squeeze me like I'm your last dime. Hold on to me, 'cause I'll be good for a long, long time. In the hall, your blushing cheeks against the wall, you're crushing me. In your dreams, I pull you through. Lost and found, that's me and you. Put me in your pocket, hold me there for keeps, squeeze me like I'm your last dime. Hold on to me, 'cause I'll be good for a long, long time. So there. And this next song is also a little bit of a time traveler song, kind of like previous life, maybe. But here's your Rolling Stones type. Working in a factory, you were always next to me. When the sun came up, we got our coffee cups, walking down the road to our dirty job. A muddy road to a dirty job. You've taken off, and I'm taking back. I'll take a giant step backwards to bring you back. Once I was a cowboy, laid up high and dry, but that was in the past. You would never do that. Now there's an empty space where you used to stand. My factory girl is gone missing. You've taken off, and I'm taking back. I'll take a giant step backward to bring you back. You've taken off, and I'm taking
That sounds good. It's John Doe live in studio here at KEXP. Songs from the upcoming album Keeper. You've given me a lot to chew on there. Traveling Back in Time, a love song, and a song I can ride a horse to.
I said that one once in that song Sweetheart, and I kind of, you're always kind of searching for something to say, which I really couldn't care less whether I introduce songs, but people seem to like it, so I do it, and you're kind of looking for things to say, and so I came upon that, and I said it once in at a show in Orange County, and there were a couple of women up front, like they were having a great time, 3 or 4 together, and it's like girls' night out, and they were like pretty tanked, and I said this is like a song could take place on horseback, and they started doing like they were riding a horse. Literally.
I almost did that too. I didn't want to distract you.
I'm glad you didn't. It was like you don't have to, put on the black leotard and do the interpretive dance, but you put
the thought in our head, and that's what it means from then on. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. And again, John's going to be at Silver Platters tonight here in Seattle at 6 p.m. And when you come back through in October, are you going to be with a band or on your own?
It'll be a band, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Well,
because the record is kind of like George Harrison, Rolling Stones, and it's big. It's a big rock kind of record.
Great. Well, we look forward to that, and maybe if it works out in your schedule, we can get you to stop by again.
Sure.
All right.
No problem.
We'll mark it down before you leave. It's John Doe live on KEXP. Always happy to see you. Thanks so much for coming by today.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
This is KEXP Seattle. Oh, that was so nice.
One more. Here comes a stranger, a friend of a friend, knocking on our door, sliding it open.